Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Thursday, January the 18th. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do have two main hypotheses and then two alternative hypotheses for expansion. Reason we do this is not to hedge ourselves. It's simply to have a plan in place based on what the auction would normally do with once we determine who is in control. And then we look for signs for our other hypotheses, our alternatives, to kick in with the expansion. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. All right, so taking a look at yesterday. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was an open auction. In range, a move down into the lower distribution, and somewhere between the 88 and the 79 VPOC. We were looking for buyers to step in and rotate us up into what was the overnight high and the all-time high at the time. Why is this? Yeah. And we had that all-time high up at the 2808.50. We were not particularly thinking that we were going to break that, but we were looking for rotation back up towards that area. Hypo 2 is an open auction out of range, a move up and then a rotation down. And Hypo 3 was a continuation day to the downside, which didn't happen. What actually happened is we played out Hypo 1, and then once we got above the daily ATR, we really went into the expansion mode and went up into the 2808.50, broke that and hit a new all-time high and equalized. A lot of examples of those unequalized highs that we talk about that are put in the Globex being equalized by the takeout in the RTH. Multiple distribution day, trend day, so the value doesn't mean much. What does mean a lot is the fact that even on a almost a 40-point drop, buyers stepped right back in the next day and took it all back and went and made a new high. And this is basically what the market has been doing. We're trading just above the 2800 right now. Key today is going to be this 2798 and a quarter, and we're going to be watching if they come back into this area right here, the 2793.94 area, to see if we get a microcomposite VPOC shift up, and then how they handle that. I don't know if we'll see the microcomposite VPOC shift up here at 2804 and a quarter area, but that will be the second area that we'll be watching. Taking a look at the news. News today, the big news is basically already out. We had building permits was a beat. Counting jobless claims, continuing jobless claims was a miss. Housing starts was a miss. Initial jobs claim was a nice beat, and Philadelphia Fed was a bit of a miss. Philly Fed business conditions was a bit of a miss. I mean, it was a mixed bag, and the non-farm employment change was minus 7.1K, which was nowhere near what we were anticipating for Canada. We've got ECB speaker at in 37 minutes. We got Bloomberg confidence at 52 minutes at the 10 o'clock, 10:30 natural gas, and then the next big news is going to be the crude inventory. Later this afternoon later this morning at 11 o'clock Eastern time. And then we've got the 10-year TIPS auction at 1 o'clock. That's all the news that we've got. Taking a look at the overnight inventory, we're coming down here to test 2,800. Watch that 2,800. Actually, it's 2,800 and a quarter that I'd be watching right now. The current low, probably going to create a weak low here. The overnight inventory is pretty mixed. It's about 50% net short, net long in time and value. Since Europe opened, we've really tested both sides and, got a bit of a double distribution with 0475 as the LVN, but it looks like they want to come down and do some repair work below the 2,800, and we'll see if we can get below. If we get below the 98 area, I'm looking for that move down into the 94.50. Just take a step back. I always like to start my day looking at a simple candlestick chart. I use a 9 EMA, and what I'm doing is I'm starting, whoops, I didn't want to do that. I'm starting on the monthly, and I'm working my way down. I'm looking at where we are within the trend in that time frame. Do we have good slope, good separation? Is the strength of the trend really strong? And where we're challenging the trend by coming down into the 9 EMA, or possibly starting a new trend by breaking below. Monthly, very strong. Going to the weekly. Again, you can see good slope, good separation. I'm using a new chart here, so just to keep things simple. Nowhere near challenging the trend until we get down into the 2708 on the weekly. On the daily, again, same thing. All the larger time frames, even with that move down, does not change the fact that this market continues to be a very strong trend up. We're making new overnight lows right now. Going to the intraday, /60-minute, you can see that I've got to put some new time frames on here. I just started using this particular chart yesterday. You can see that we've broken below the 9 and the 20. We are basically consolidating and possibly seeing a possible trend change. Going to the 30-minute, you can see the same picture, and then down to the 5-minute, you can see that we now have slope and separation to the downside, and the last test of the 20 failed, and we're back below the 9 and the 20. We do get a possible, what I need to do is I need to move this. Can I do that? I'll have to do that later. I want to put my relative volume onto this chart, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get that done. Okay, so let's take a look at that structure again. We've got a triple distribution on the micro composite. 98 is the LVN to pay attention to right now. And then we've got the 89. I'm going to use that, probably that 88 again for a possible move down to the 83. We could just see some more consolidation here. In the last 2 days, just the last 2 days itself, the microcomposite VPOC is up here at 2804 and a quarter. So that right now is the fact that we're not holding it is signaling that the sellers are stepping in with a little bit more conviction, and we're not unable to hold that 2804. Of course, that doesn't mean that we can't come back there, except that. And I'll be watching for the 4-day, well, 3.5 day, if you want to count the holiday session, is for this micro composite to shift up here. Otherwise, if we don't hold the 98, we're likely to start drifting back towards that last place that the buyers stepped in strong, which is down here. So taking our overnight numbers, our overnight low is down at the 27.9975 so far. It could shift. And based on that, our 20-period daily ATR is running at, that's the full session average true range, is running at 1840, so off of 27.9975. Our upside daily ATR target is up at 28.18 and a quarter. This has to be adjusted. I had these set already. And off of the high overnight, our downside daily ATR target is down here at the 27.8975. Our VPOC just shifted down to the 28.02. That's not a good sign for the longs right now because we're not holding it, and it's breaking below this LVN right here. Pretty blocky profile though, and again, the number that I'm looking to use as an over underline today is that 98. Below it, I'm targeting the 94.50 area. And anything below that, we'd be looking for, where's the micro-composite LVN there? Oh, that's the 89 again. Yeah. This is going to be your key line in the sand, which is also our daily downside ATR target. I'm actually going to move it just down a little bit to where the VPOC was. The reason I'm doing this is that we might bounce here, but we could push through and come down to where the VPOC was for most of the day yesterday down here, before they bounce. So I want to make sure they're below that. And then below that, we have the range low at 80 for push into the 78.50 naked VPOC. Our weekly ATR 20-period full session average true range is running at 37.325, so off of the high, the all-time high, and our week high at 28.0950. Our downside daily ATR, weekly ATR is down here at 72.75. Off of the low of the week, which is down at 27.69 and a quarter, our weekly upside ATR target is 28.0650, and we went to 0950, and now we're back inside of it. So this becomes important because if we hold back inside, we're maintaining our range, and we're likely to see more chop and chop inside of the weekly range. If we get back above the 0650, then I'd be looking for them to go and break that 0950. It wasn't the greatest highs, and get the continuation into new all-time highs. We have a LVN at the overnight VPOC that becomes a trade area as well, and basically those are the areas that I'm going to be watching in terms of the ES. My hypotheses for the day, well, it doesn't change much from what it's been. I'm looking for an open auction out of range. I'm looking for a move down into testing this 98 area, and then somewhere between the 98, possibly down to the 94.50. I'm looking for buyers to step back in and continuing to walk us up towards the new all-time high again, and possibly make a new all-time high. That's hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction in range, a push up into the, I forgot to put the overnight high in. 28 high is 08. Hypo 2 is a open auction out of in range, a move up into the 04.25, push to the 08, either get a false breakout or fail to break out and put in a new all-time high, and a rotation down into that 94, and basically chop in this area between 88 and 2800 and fill in the auction and get an inside day and consolidation. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a open auction in range, failed to get below the 98, possibly even not take out the overnight low, but that's kind of iffy because we're trading so close to it, and then rotate us right up and go and break that 2809.50 within the first IB, the first hour as the IB is being set, and then basically just grinding up towards this 18 area and to this measured move being the primary target above on hypo 3. Hypo 4 is failure to take out the overnight high and rotate down into the 94, fail, break below the daily ATR and that key line in the sand, and push down and come down into our weekly downside ATR target, which is down here at the 72 area, and basically chop down here as another red day. This is less likely considering how strong we took this back, but it's this market is not auctioning normally, so anything is possible right now in this market. Taking a look at gold. Gold looks to be that we've got a possible trend change in gold. We've went up. We were unable to hold the 34 area. We've come down overnight. We came and tested the lower side of this balance down at the 25 area. If we get back below the 25 and don't hold the 23, then I'm expecting a move down into the 16 to 18 area as the next destination down here. And then if we don't bounce there, then we're confirming the trend change, and I'd be looking for a test to the 1300 level again, and possibly dip down into the 1200s. If we can get back inside of the value area and above this LVN at microcomposite LVN at 1330, then look for us to rotate back up into balance again with 34, 35 being your primary target. And then any break above the 42, we get continuation up and a move into the 50s. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.